There once was a man named Enos who used to play with his very big... Oh, hi there! I didn't see you there. So what are we here to talk about today? We're here to talk about this, the DC Hanna-Barbera comics. Now, I didn't talk about this when it first got announced a few months back, I wouldn't say like a month or so ago back. Mostly because I was dealing with some problems and I wasn't able to. But now, WonderCon has announced some new stuff for the DC Hanna-Barbera comics, so let's talk about it. Now, first off, let's talk about some of the stuff that's coming out. First and foremost, let's get the elephant out of the room. Let's talk about the one you see here, Scooby Apocalypse. Yeah, leave it to Jim Lee to completely make a cartoon dark and gritty. Now, let me say this let me at least play devil's advocate here, saying that Mystery Incorporated did have some dark elements to it, and I absolutely love that cartoon for those dark elements. But this is a little extreme. Like, this looks like a bad 90s comic, really. It does. Like, I don't have the full image here, but you have Shaggy, who looks like he looks like a skinny young Jeff Bridges. You've got you've got Fred looking like Flash Gordon. You got Daphne with a rocket launcher, and Velma's tiny. What? Okay. Whatever. Sure. Go ahead. Now, apparently the story's going to be written by Keith Giffen and J.M. DeMatteis. Now, J.M. DeMatteis and Keith Giffen are both hit-and-miss writers to me. They're both very hit-and-miss, so this could easily be like a really cool, fun science fiction series, or really bad. I feel like if this was put in like the hands of a younger writer, I feel like this could be something like really out there and weird, like Gravity Falls level. But I feel like here's the problem with J.M. DeMatteis and Keith Giffen that they've been running into. They cannot write young characters for the life of them. DeMatteis can with Spider-Man, but as you saw, as he progressed with other younger characters, as he got on in years, DeMatteis has kind of lost touch with his writing for younger characters. Same with Keith Giffen. They used to be really good with him, but now it's like, I just don't care anymore. Man, they just really lost touch. But maybe since they're trying to make the Scooby Gang young adults, maybe it'll work out better. So, this is the one that I was like, wow, they're going there. Now next is the Flints. Let's talk about let's talk about the one I really like, Future Quest, and I can't remember who's writing that one. Oh, wait, I know the artwork's going to be done by Darwin Cook, and I actually think he's going to be writing it too, and I was like, Darwin Cook on artwork for classic Hanna-Barbera characters? So let's talk real quick about Future Quest. Future Quest is a story centered around Johnny Quest, but it's going to have all the other Hanna-Barbera superheroes in there. They're going to have Space Ghost, the Galaxy Trio, the Herculoids, Frankenstein, Frankenstein Jr. They don't have Godzilla. They don't have the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla. That's probably because of Toho and IDW's thing. So maybe that's the case, but I would be shocked if we saw the Hanna-Barbera Godzilla in there, or at least Godzuki, just to die. We also have, we've got every all the Hanna-Barbera superheroes in one group, and I think that's really awesome. Now, again, this seems like it's going to be a little more darker story, and apparently what's going on is that Johnny Quest goes on these adventures and encounters all these other superheroes in like an Avengers-type story, and I was like, yeah, I can get behind that. Totally. I think it's a really cool idea. I mean, it sounds like a mixture of Marvel Team-Up and Avengers put together. Brave and the Bold and Justice League, since we're going by DC standards. What was I going to say? Man, I totally lost my train of thought. But yeah, I think it's an awesome, really out there idea. I think it's going to be, just a fun pulp action type stories. That's what I'm really looking forward to, is these fun pulp action type stories with Johnny Quest. I love me some Johnny Quest, so this ought to be fun. And adding all the other characters like Space Ghost and, I'm hoping for Thundar. I want Thundar in this comic. Yeah, Thundar, He'd be great. The Thundercats. Yeah, let's get the Thundercats in here. They're under Hanna-Barbera, technically speaking. They're under WB. So, yeah, the Silverhawks. Like, let's get some 80s cartoons in there, too. Shit. Yeah. So, next up is Wacky Raceland, which is... It's not even pretending to... Like, it's flat out said in the description, yeah, it's based off of Mad Max. So, I saw some of the race cars. They are out there. I can't wait for, like, someone go, Dick Dastardly, witness me! Or Muttley, witness me! I'm just gonna, for this one, I'm just gonna, like, quote Fury Road lines, like, if I'm gonna die historically on the wacky road! Oh, man. Oh, that's something. So yeah, I think that's I think it's a really interesting idea that we're doing like a Mad Max type story with those characters, and yeah, I mean, it makes sense, like, they're gonna capitalize on Mad Max. I mean, it makes sense. It was a high rating movie, so I can only imagine what they would do with it, honestly. So yeah, Scooby Apocalypse is set to release in May 25th, and Future Quest on the 18th. And then there's also the final and fourth comic, which is Flintstones and the Rubbles, which will also follow by Wacky Raceland. I don't think there's a release date for that one, and I'm trying to remember the creative team behind the Flintstones comic, because that one looks like it's just going to be like a lot of fun. It just looks like it's going to be a fun comedy series, and that's kind of what I want from it, you know what I mean? Just a fun, like, let's face it, the Flintstones were the forerunner to The Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad, all of those animated family cartoons. Not all of them can thank Flintstones for being their forerunner. So I think it's a fun idea that we're going to... It's going to be more or less a comedy, sitcom-type comic. I don't think there's going to be any action or anything in it, and it looks like it's going to be some adult humor in it. So I'm totally fine with it, because they got away with some adult humor before. Fun fact, Fred and Wilma were actually the first couple, not just animated, but first couple ever to be seen in bed together. Not having sex, mind you, to get your mind out of the gutter, but just talking in bed. And that was a big thing back then. So they kind of broke ground in a way. They weren't bumping and grinding, but just talking in bed was never heard of before. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to all these. Scooby Apocalypse is the one I'm like, man, that just feels like it's trying to be too extreme. Because even though, as much as I say, Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated was this, it was dark and it took the show in different places, it still kept to the traditions of the original Scooby-Doo while going hand in hand with some new ideas and making it flow. It didn't go all the way out with giant monsters and a ghost apocalypse like Scooby Apocalypse is doing. This one seems like it's a bad 90s cartoon, really. So you guys tell me, what do you all think of the DC Hanna-Barbera comics? Which ones are you most excited for? What are your thoughts on stuff like Scooby Apocalypse? And just comment below, let me know. And yeah, really looking forward to this. Really interested in what you guys have to say about this. And I'm for me personally, of course, it's Future Quest followed by Wacky Raceland, because that's just so out there. I have to at least read the first issue. Anyway, so once again, hope you all enjoyed this, and I'm out.